It's WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160, also online at WCCSradio.com. He's Justin Schawl, the Indiana Borough Police Chief. Our conversation is brought to you by Marcus & Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
It's good to have you with us here today. It's a very busy time of the year. As always, I know that it's always really busy. But let's start with some good news, because last week we heard about the possibility of getting another dog, and that's already happened, I understand.
Yeah, it's very exciting. We did a lot of legwork to be poised to broach with Indiana Boroughs Council and to our community the possibility that if council would accept a grant donation from two major sponsors, that we'd be able to secure another canine, not only for our Comfort Canine program, but this canine was going to be an AKC certified bloodhound, has been training its entire life to locate lost, missing, or abducted people. So 5 months old, 5 months of training, or however they can start that. Yeah. So it's very exciting. It's very exciting. We've landed in Indiana, so we are here. We were ready to take this opportunity and embrace it. And we have.
Do we know the name of this dog?
The dog's name is Scout.
Scout.
That's right.
That's appropriate, isn't it?
It is. It is. You know, Axel's name, when we chose it, the conversation was Axel can be interpreted as my father is peace. And we knew Axel's mission was going to be strictly comfort. And so we thought that name was a really appropriate name for a member of the department that was coming on for that specific purpose. So Scout, lost, missing, or abducted. Thank God we don't have that on a regular basis here in Indiana. But we handle our fair share of missing persons. And, you know, fortunately, we're able to make a quick find for whatever reason. And but Scout's going to plug in well, and he's going to be dual certified. So not only is he working towards his tracking training, but he's also going to be working towards his therapy dog training. So when we're not tracking or trailing or being used as a regional resource, we're going to go ahead and we're going to plug in to help Axel, because Axel is very busy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Scout is, he's got his work cut out for him, too.
He does, but he's making some great progress. We are compiling some information for a public release, and this community is going to be very proud of this effort.
Yeah.
And they're going to be very proud of the officers who have committed to this effort, and it's just another way that we can plug in, not only for our community, but for our law enforcement partners. And it's a solid story. Again, it's a non-traditional approach to public safety, which is something that I appreciate the opportunity to be able to lead. But full credit for the success of Axel, and full credit for the success, even today, of Scout, goes to Sergeant Jeff Hogue and Officer Mike Clausen, who are their handlers, and to the community who's supporting them.
Well, we might not think that we're not a big city and therefore we don't have missing persons, but I recall yesterday morning on the scanner at about 3:15 in the morning, I was listening to a description. They had phoned in that a woman had walked away and was missing, and so they had to track down and find her. So it probably is more common than we might think, and especially when you get to hunting season and things like that. People can come up missing, and so that's good to know that is an expansion of the services that you can offer through Indiana Borough.
That's right. Indiana Borough and our Indiana community isn't immune from anything that happens nationally. We are not immune, and I think that our public would be quite surprised at the frequency of what we're dealing with, when we're dealing with it, how we're dealing with it. Not only surprised, but I think proud, which is very important. We do things well. There's no shortage of things to do in Indiana and in Indiana County for a police department, so we're always happy to plug in.
It is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we talked with Dr. Ralph May yesterday about that, and we'll talk more about it with folks from IRMC through the course of this month. But it being Mental Health Awareness Month, I know that's very concerning to people in your line of work as well, and we recall the situation in Texas last week where two neighbors, a guy out in the middle of the night, had been drinking and was firing off his gun. And his next door neighbor said, "Hey, can you quiet it down? Our kids are trying to get to sleep here." And it ended up that he went and he killed 5 of those people. Mental health is such Well, let's say it's something that is at the top of the awareness of so many people now, and certainly for you and the rest of the folks on the Indiana Borough Police Chief, it's a primary concern, isn't it?
It is a primary concern, and there's no shortage of escalating stresses in the world. Drugs and alcohol abuse are contributing largely to the traumas that we're seeing, but certainly there's a mental health component, and I have no doubt, although not knowing the specifics of the details in that Texas investigation, that mental health is a component of that investigation. And so we're always cognizant of that. As a matter of fact, as we were speaking before about our canine program, Axel was brought here recognizing that we had a high stress level and that we needed to de-escalate stress and that we needed to build better, stronger partnerships and relationships, and how we were going to do that with our community when things were frayed. And so stress levels for the community, stress levels for police officers, stress levels for neighbors. I mean, these are all contributing factors to the trauma, a large portion of the trauma that we see. And then you add drugs and alcohol to that mix, either before, during, or after some mental health episodes, and it creates a real danger and problematic situation that requires a full resource community effort.
Well, rumor has it that summer's actually going to come. And when that happens, people get outdoors more. They are able to relate to one another more. Sometimes those relationships are not the best, and mental health becomes a part of it. And we do hear of confrontations between neighbors and of different situations where people require intervention by police agencies. I know that we want everybody to be good neighbors, but sometimes it doesn't always happen, and police have to step in.
That's right. And we would ask our community that before you take upon yourselves in a moment of stress and action that you may later regret or could become dangerous, that you let us be involved, that you call and let us know what's occurring. We're always available. We're immediately accessible. And if there's a way that we could de-escalate that stress for a neighbor or a disagreement between neighbors, we're always happy to do that. I mean, we deal with a lot of quality of life issues in Indiana Borough. They all have their own nuance. They all have their own dangers, but they're all significant. They're just as significant as any traffic citation that we could issue or any traffic safety-related mission that we could be on, because it all leads itself to peace, safety, and comfort. Our community wants to have a high quality of life. I want the police department and the police department's achieving a high quality of or a high level of service for a high quality of life, and we plug in with our partners that way. So, be patient.
Yeah.
Understand everybody has things going on, and decisions made in the heat of the moment are rarely the best decisions. So we want to make sure that we can detach ourselves a little bit, regardless of whether there's a mental health component or not. Any confrontation, any engagement is inherently unsafe when there's negative connotation to it.
Well, there are stress levels that go up markedly when police have to get involved in some situations, and you have to be on high alert anytime you even pull somebody over for a turn signal violation or whatever it happens to be, that this could be a situation that spirals out of control pretty quickly, which brings us to there's a peace officers memorial service that is coming up for Indiana County. It is a month when we pay attention, extra special attention to police and to the work that they do, and we honor police, and I hope that we respect police for the job that they're doing, because it's awful difficult.
Well, we appreciate that wholeheartedly. First and foremost, the week of May 14th to the 20th is National Police Week, and President Kennedy in 1962 dedicated May 15th as Peace Officer Memorial Day, and Indiana County's holding a Peace Officer Memorial Service, as it does every year. This year, I believe that it's at the Indiana Fire Association, and that's on Wednesday, May 17th. And again, that's an opportunity for the community, for law enforcement, for local law enforcement, to pay tribute to the lives that were lost in the line of duty, protecting and serving their communities. And in Pennsylvania, we're not immune. We've seen some far too recent and far too often incidents where police officers have paid the ultimate sacrifice for the safety of their community, and we pay tribute to their families. So it's an opportunity for us to focus on not only the good, or not only the bad, but also the good. And so very important for Indiana County law enforcement. Those ceremonies are always done well. They're always very important. They always have a nice turnout. So that's where we'll be paying tribute a little bit in our own way in Indiana County.
We have festivals coming up this summer. We have IUP graduation coming up this weekend. Folks going to be out on their motorcycles, their bicycles increasingly. A general call for everybody to be safe on the roads, right?
General call for everyone to be safe. Lots of events. IUP graduation. Congratulations to all IUP graduating seniors. We have mental health fair that's going to be taking place downtown this week. We also have, like I said, National Police Week, and then we finish up May with our West Sylvania Jazz Festival. So as the weather gets nicer, motorcycles hit the road, our students get excited to end school. It's always my call, slow down, give yourself time and space. It's not so important after a tragedy occurs who was at fault for that tragedy, because we need to avoid the tragedy in the first place. So we need our motorists to plug in for us. We need our pedestrians to plug in for us. We want to see downtown Indiana thriving. We want to see it full of pedestrians. We want to see our businesses full, and we encourage everyone to come downtown, but we have to come downtown safely. And detour routes for special events are going to be in effect. Visitors are going to be in town. All these things, unfamiliar territory. So you'll see certainly a robust police effort in the month of May and leading into the summer. And again, it's for everyone's safety.
Had a woman come up to me at church on Sunday, said she graduated from IUP and hadn't been on campus since 1983. And she came back this past weekend and drove through the campus in the downtown. She couldn't believe it. She said, "What a beautiful town. What a beautiful campus." We have a lot to be proud of in this borough, in this whole neighborhood. And the conduct of the people within it, I think, is something to be proud of as well. And,
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
you're a big part of it.
Well, we have something special here in Indiana. And, as a lifelong resident, I certainly recognize that. And we've made a lot of changes. I'm sure that we're going to continue making changes. This is a great place. And we're dedicated to making sure people know that and to keeping it as safe as possible for people to enjoy.
He is Indiana Borough Police Chief Justin Schawl. Thanks for coming over.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. Online, of course, at WCCSradio.com.